इच्छामि वेदितुम्
त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदनाम् श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासम् सन्न्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम् प्राहुस्त्यागं विचक्षणाः त्याज्यं दोषवदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म त्याज्यमिति चापरे निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषं व्याघ्र त्रिविधा सम्प्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् It is said, and it is true, in the 18th chapter, in fact the whole Bhagavad Gita is summed up. Bhashyakara says so, Sarvasya eva Gita Shastrasya Arthaha asmin adhyaye upasamhritya Sarvasya Vedarthaha Vaktavya iti Evamartaha Yamadhyayaha Arabhyate. The 18th chapter is begun here to sum up the Bhagavad Gita and to give out the essence of Veda, the entire Veda. इसमें बहुत कुछ चीजें आई थी 18th chapter में. सर्वस्य गीता शास्त्र. It is Gita Shastrasya Arthaha Asmin Adhyaye Upasamhritya Sarvasya Vedarthaha Vaktavya. It is necessary to sum up Bhagavad Gita. It is necessary to give out the entire vision of Veda. It is only then a student of Shastra has relaxation. Otherwise you would be imagining, maybe it is so, maybe. Summing up a long story is necessary. Summing up a long message is necessary. Even in life, everybody gets an opportunity to sum up his life towards the end of life. Yeah, he goes through the summary of life. Yes. Towards the end. Some pleasure, some pain, some this. It's all summary of life. In fact, the summary of life you don't have to wait for the evening of life. Every day is a summary of life. Every day is a summary of life. Really speaking. दूसरे ढंग से देखेंगे, if we look at things very deeply, every life Every day's life is a summary of life. Because today's life is not going to, tomorrow's life is not going to be totally different from today's life. Because breakfast is going to be the same. Lunch is going to be the same. Even if it is not the same, so what? It is still the same thing. Sukha, dukkha is the summary of life. Sukha, dukkha. But here Bhagavan is going to, we know the summary of life. What Bhagavan says is, he is giving a message to get out of samsara, the teaching. And that teaching requires to be summed up. The teaching requires to be summed up. Unless we are clear about what the Shastra says, we tend to make mistakes in our lives. Then we start living our life manmarsi. Individual likes and dislikes play a big role in shaping our life. But the individual likes and dislikes are very deceptive. They don't give us much. Even when you fulfill your likes, it's not much. Even if you get everybody killed whom you don't like, it's not much in life, it's nothing. If you get all your enemies killed, it doesn't mean much. If you get all the objects that you like, it doesn't mean much. Therefore, don't try to shape life through your likes and dislikes. Shape your life along the lines of what is the message of the Shastra. Shape your life along the lines of the teachings of the Shastra. Because if we leave the Shastra, then we try to shape our life along the lines of our likes and dislikes. Our likes and dislikes are always biased. We make mistakes. And we keep, until Shastra becomes the guiding light, we keep making mistakes. Is it true, Swamiji? Yes. 100%. Our Shastra should become our guiding light. Even though people are not used to the language of the Shastra and all that, it doesn't matter. But one can, without going deep into the Shastra, you can have the summary of the Shastra in your mind. That summary of the Shastra is the 18th chapter. Bhagavan says, Sarveshu atiteshu adhyayeshu uktaharthaha asmin adhyaye avagamyate. All that is said in the previous adhyayas is also available in this adhyaya. Bhagavan says, Arjunastu sanyasa tyaga shabdarthayoho eva vishesham babutsuhu vacha. Arjuna says, he just wants right now, in the beginning, Arjuna wants to know a very important question. There is a word in this culture called sannyasa. Now, sannyasa is glorified, but it's very difficult to live. See, you also have the fear of sannyasa. You respect it and you keep away from it. Like South Indian mothers. They will invite the sannyasis and give bhojan. बट अपना बेटा अगर बोलेंगे मैं संन्यास लेना चाहता हूँ, ना 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 ना, वो नहीं है. So they give respect. उनको अच्छी तरह से भोजन खिलाएंगे, वस्त्र देंगे, दक्षिणा देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे. बेटा कहता है इतना बढ़िया चीज है तो मैं भी बन जाता हूँ संन्यास. ना 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 बेटा, उनके लिए ठीक है, आपके लिए ठीक है. No mother wants her son to be a sannyasi. But every mother respects sannyasa. This country it respects most sannyasa because that is the final goal. I must grow and grow and grow and become a sannyasi in one's thinking. If you become a sannyasi in thinking, I think you have done well in life. You have educated yourself well. So this word sannyasa is very, very popular in this country. Even Americans, they get fascinated with it. They also take sannyasa. This color is so attractive. This color, they just put on. This dress. But then, sannyasa is not a lifestyle. Sannyasa is thinking. Not merely putting on the dress and living in a cottage and putting on big Rudraksh mala. Oh, that's nothing. These are all the symbols. Symbols don't make sannyasa. It's a great thinking. Thinking about the self, that is sannyasa. What is this mean? Getting absolutely obsessed with, I don't mind using this term, obsessed. Getting absolutely obsessed with trying to find out what is this, what is our existence? What are we? Are we just the form or something else? If I were a form, I would not have been aware. If I am aware, then I should not be the form. So I have all the logic to think that I should not be a form. And the Shruti also says, you are not a form. So go into it. Go into the topic. If you go into the topic of the self-knowledge, topic of finding out what one is, that very effort to find out is sannyasa. Self-education makes one a sannyasa. So this word sannyasa is very, very respected, highly respected word. You can never have an India minus respect to the sannyasa. Even if the sannyasis make mistakes and this and that are no problem, it doesn't mean anything. There are always, you see, whether it is sannyasis or non-sannyasis, always you see a few people always make mistakes. That doesn't mean one human being commits a crime, but then you can't write off the whole humanity. One doctor makes a mistake, but you can't write off the whole profession. You can't really, in this world, certain things can't be generalized. Therefore, there are always sannyasis who are greatly dedicated to teaching and knowing and teaching the Shastra. There are also people who may not be, but then sannyasa is sannyasa. Okay. There is also another word called tyaga. Tyaga means renunciation. Renunciation. Tyaga. Let us keep the word tyaga. In India, these two words are highly respected. They are not only popular in the society, they are very popular in the Shastra. They are the words of the Shastra. Then they enter the society. The word tyaga comes from the Shastra. Like the word vairagyam comes from the Shastra. The word sannyasa comes from the Shastra. The word tyaga comes from the Shastram. So Arjuna says, I want to know exactly the meaning of these two words. In fact, knowing exactly what is meant by the word sannyasa and knowing exactly what is meant by the word tyaga and knowing exactly what is the difference between the two, you have known a lot. If you know these two words correctly, you have known a lot of Shastrams. In fact, the word sannyasa, it is the very essence of Indian culture. Tyaga is the very essence. Sannyasa is the destination. Tyaga is the means. Let me break the suspense. Sannyasa is a kind of destination. To think of the truth is the very purpose of existence. To figure out our actual nature is the purpose, the destination. And Tyaga is something, the facilitator. Tyaga is the facilitator. Sannyasa is the destination. Now Bhagavan says here, Arjuna asked a question, now let us look into the verse. I have given you the introduction. Arjuna wants to know exactly what is meant by the word sannyasa and what is the vision of, what is the scriptural vision of the word sannyasa? What is the Vedic vision of the word sannyasa? And what is the Vedic vision of the word tyaga? But people think of the meaning of the word, that's not important. What is the Vedic vision? People may think sannyasa means putting on ochre robe and putting on rudraksha mala and having a jata and taking a kammandalu and going from house to house. That is what individuals' definitions. I am not interested in your and my definition of what is sannyasa and tyaga. What is Vedic? What does Veda think? Sannyasasya Mahabaho. A Mahabaho, a Krishna. He was also a great Mahabaho. Mahabaho means mighty, great. He is a biological individual. A fearless person is called Mahabahu. Mahabahu does not mean you must have mighty arms. You must have a mighty heart. Not to fear. Not to fear. Face every situation. There is no use of fighting a man. Fight the God-given problems. Fight one's impulses to be able to do one's duties. Supposing you are born into a poor family, then fight. Meaning what? Be brave to come out of it. Work hard. Have a lion's heart to work hard and come out of it. Might. One should be mighty not in order to spill blood. One should be mighty to achieve what we need. To be able to live and let others live in peace, and ultimately reach our destination, that is knowing the truth. Therefore, I have also defined what is Mahabahu. Mahabahu does not mean highly muscled. A muscled man is not called Mahabahu. A brave man is. To be brave. Brave means what? Face the difficulties and go past them. Overcome them. Be brave, and if you are irritable, be brave enough to come out of it. Anything that is nagging within, be brave enough to overcome it. We have to brave, otherwise we give in to our impulses, I give in to my anger, it can become a big nuisance. Once one irritability becomes a big nuisance. Don't think it is a small thing, it's a very big nuisance. Every nuisance is a big nuisance. There is no small nuisance. Every nuisance is a big nuisance. You are irritable all the time making faces. It's a big nuisance. And even when you look into the mirror, you make faces. You make faces to the mirror. Why are you presenting me like this? You understand, Bravery means never succumb to difficulties. Never succumb. Never sit down and cry. God, we have got enough resources, inner resources, enough resources to be marshaled and difficulties overcome. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna was Mahabahu, mighty. Arjuna also was Mighty. And every human being is mighty. If you think you are mighty, you are mighty. If you think I am a weakling, you are a weakling. जैसे सोचेंगे वैसे बनेंगे. If you say I can do, you will do. Yes. That's a very big resolve. I can. I can makes a difference in life. मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं होता. I can't, Papa. I can't. मेरे बस का नहीं है. Then you can't do it. The inner resolve is important. You see, even if you can't do ultimately, so what? At least think that you can. Think, assert your capacity to do. Mahabaho Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam. The truth. Tattva means the actual definition of the word sannyas. The actual meaning of the word sannyas. What does sannyasa mean? Tattvam, uska tattva. Tattva. Ichchami. Like you see, the table, that is how it looks. But its tattva means wood. It looks a wave, but its tattva means water. It looks a cloth, but its tattva means cotton. It looks an ornament, but its tattva means gold. Its tattva means gold. Are you able to follow? Similarly, sannyasa looks as though putting on ochre robes, putting on mala, and having a kamandalu or living in Himalayas. This is all just looks. Looks are distinct from the tattva, the actuality. Mirage is the looks, but the sand is the tattva. Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam. See, Arjuna knows what is sannyasa, the looks of a sannyasa. The temporal meaning of sannyasa. Everybody knows what is sannyasa. Sannyasa is going to Rishikesh and taking initiation, putting on ochre robes, and afterwards living on bhiksha. This much we all know it. That is not tattva. That is how it looks. That is how it looks. That is how it looks. But what is its tattva? Ichchami, I want. Veditum, to know. Arjuna says, Bhagavan, I want to know the tattva, the truth about sannyas. Actually, a sannyasi, what does he do in his mind? He lives in Rishikesh, or lives in an ashram, or he renounces his home. That is all right, we know all that. But actually, what is the topic of a sannyasi? Like a businessman, his topic is to make money. A householder, his topic is to keep his household clean and peaceful. A school-going child, his topic is to go to school and learn. But what is the topic of a Swami, a sannyasi? Simply by saying, a sannyasi is one who thinks about Paramatma, that's not enough. It has to be properly. What is Paramatma? A sannyasi is one who has his own bhang plots. In a bhang. He has got his own bhang garden. See, so that he doesn't have to go here and there for bhang. That we all know it. Who doesn't know? Everybody takes bhang. This is also another very unfortunate thing. If a person takes tobacco, it is a vice. But if a person takes bhang, then it is not a vice. Kya baat hai? Any intoxicant is a vice. Why do we have to say sannyasis, they don't take tobacco but they take bhang? Is it? I think it's worse than tobacco. It's worse than tobacco. Do you know what is bhang? It's cannabis. You understand? Cannabis is forbidden. It's cannabis. Bhang means cannabis. Forbidden, prohibited. But we take bhang. Oh, Swami log bhang pite hain. Then we don't consider it as a vice. Ye to hota hai. You understand, no? No. Bhang is a vice. Does bhang make sannyasa? Is it the tattva of sannyasa to take bhang? Is taking bhiksha from house to house, is it the essence of sannyasa? Or simply wandering all over the country, is it the essence of sannyasa? What actually is the soul, the essence of sannyasa? Arjuna says, I want to know it. If you can explain to me what is sannyasa. This is the first question of Arjunaji, and the second line of Bhagavan is Arjuna's Tyagasya cha. And I also want to know what is renunciation, Tyaga. Because we are always told, Tyag karo. Because these two words are the most popular, respected words in this country. I think in the whole creation, these two words, sannyasa and tyaga. Renunciation is appreciated all over the creation. If you go to heaven, there also it is appreciated. Renunciation is appreciated. And sannyasa also is appreciated. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Let me tell you a story. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva happened to become one child of Atri. They became her son. So he has got 4 heads, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, and 3 heads. And then there is, he always used to go with his dog. That is the 4th head, representing as the 4 Vedas. That's unimportant. But what I am saying is, even Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all the 3 after taking birth on the earth, they became a sannyasi. Because Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva they took sannyas. And as Dattatreya, he went round. Dattatreya, yes. Went on, he lived on bhiksha. And he went on learning and he went on teaching people what is the right. Okay, dear. See, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva also think sannyasa is the greatest, and it's the greatest. So, Tyagasya cha. One is sannyasa, the other is Tyagasya cha. Hrishikesha, hey Krishna. So, we have some time to think about great, glorious epithets, the descriptive words of Bhagavan. One is Mahabaho, fearless. The other is Hrishikesha, the truth behind the senses. Hrishikesha. Our Rishikesh is not a Rishikesh, it is Hrishikesh. Is the name of H-R-I, not R-I, H-R-I. We swallow H. It is actually Hrishikesh. What does Hrishikesh mean? Hrishika means the senses and the mind. Hrishika means the senses and the mind. Hrishikānām Indriyanām Isha, the Lord of the senses and the mind. This is one description of the Lord Krishna. Hey Hrishikesha, hey Krishna, I want to know what is actually the essence of the word, the essential vision of the word sannyasa and the Vedic vision of the word tyaga. How does the Veda look at these two words? Prithak, and I want to say the difference. Keshi Nishudana, this is another thing. Bhagavan Krishna ke liye another descriptive word. Keshi Nishudana. When Krishna was a small little, as the Purana says, Then there was one asura who used to put on the form. He would appear as a horse and try to kill Krishna. Ayachadma. Ayachadma means, an asura in the form of a horse would come to kill Krishna, and then Krishna ultimately killed it. And the one who killed that asura, who tamed that asura, Krishna's description is Keshi Nishudana. Why? Because this asura's name was Keshi, the name of an asura. Nishudana means the one who killed. Therefore, hey Krishna, you are Keshi Nishudana, and I want to know the meaning of the word sannyasa and the meaning of the word tyaga. Okay? Understood? Now, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Now he answers. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Now Bhagavan answers. You see, all over Mahabharata, recently there was a small question. All over it is Sri Krishna Vacha, Sri Krishna Vacha. But in Bhagavad Gita it is not Sri Krishna Vacha, Sri Bhagavan. Therefore some people think it is an interpolation. Bhagavad Gita is an interpolation. Interpolation means somebody came and put it there inside. It's called interpolation. Interpolation means somebody writes something and he puts it in some other book, thinking that it's a part of that book. This is called interpolation. So Bhagavad Gita is considered by some intellectuals as an interpolation. I am going to answer it now. You hear and you think about it. You see, in Mahabharata he was playing the role of an avatar. He was only talking about dharma and adharma. And any individual can talk about dharma and adharma. Yudhishthira also can talk about dharma and adharma. And the one who talked about dharma and adharma, he was called Sri Krishna Vacha. But while giving Brahmopadesha, he cannot be called Sri Krishna Vacha, it has to be Sri Bhagavan Vacha as Parameshwara. He is giving him. Just because there is a new thing called Sri Bhagavan Vacha, immediately some of the intellectuals of history, those who want to rewrite history, because they want to poke into everything Indian, they say it is an interpolation. What is the proof? Tell me. I say even if it is interpolation, so what, as long as it is valid. But first of all, it is not interpolation. Therefore, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, truth can be discussed only by the truth itself. Truth itself talks about itself. And the truth is called Sri Bhagavan. Now the answer is given. In the second verse, Bhagavan is answering the first question. And the first question is, what is sannyasa? Kamyanam karmanam. Nyasam. First you take the word nyasam. Nyasam means renunciation, giving up. Nyasam means giving up. Kamyanam karmanam means desire-oriented karma. Giving up the actions done only for the sake of material results. Doing activities with the sole intention for material results, nothing beyond. Such an action is called kamya karma, desire-oriented action. I am performing, I am going to work, I am going to office to make money and nothing else. That makes it kamya karma. I am doing this ritual only for this material result and nothing else. And nothing else, that is important. And nothing else. That makes it kamya karma. and I am doing this job only for the sake of the money, nothing else, solely for a material result, that makes it kamya karma. And even the rituals, you perform the Vedic rituals solely for heaven. I am performing this ritual so that after death I will go to heaven where I can live more comfortably I can live. That is called kamya karma. For your information, the entire karma kanda, a lot of them are kamya karmas. A lot of them are kamya karmas. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. Giving up the approach of doing activities as desire-oriented actions. Giving up desire-oriented actions for the sake of understanding the truth. When I renounce desire-oriented actions, we get the leisure. And when we get the leisure, because a lot of time is consumed by the desires and the desire-oriented actions. So you switch from the desires and the desire-oriented actions to understanding yourself, the truth. This is switch from the search to reflection. Desire is a kind of search. I am searching for something. This switching from the desires to, or desire-oriented actions to the reflection, the switching is what is called sannyasa. Iti kavayo viduhu. Sannyasam kavayo viduhu, the sages describe it. The sages describe switching from the desire-oriented actions to understanding the truth. That has to be supplied here. Supposing I renounce a desire-oriented action and keep quiet, that is not sannyasa. You renounce home and you renounce your duties and you renounce desire-oriented actions and be quiet, then it is not called sannyasa. One renounces the desire-oriented actions in order to get enough leisure to know the truth within himself, truth which is his actual nature. This can be the definition. And the lifestyle can be anything. You can live in Rishikesh, you can live in Delhi, these are all secondary things. But the essential definition of sannyasa is, renouncing the desire-oriented actions and taking up the topic of understanding oneself. This is the old traditional definition of sannyasa. Clear? Now Bhagavan Krishna here, he gives a very beautiful thing here. Hey, you cannot really renounce like that. You cannot renounce all actions and take up the study of the truth. Because as biological individuals, we are used to performing actions. We cannot break from our usual approach of doing duties, doing actions, and living. That life of activity cannot be, we cannot suspend that life of activity. It's not possible. Therefore, then in the second line he gives the definition of tyaga. It is possible for human beings to live a life of tyaga and also understand the truth. Tyaga also can help you understand the truth. Sannyasa also can help you to understand the truth. But Tyaga is within human capacity, but sannyasa is not within the capacity of every human being. Whereas Tyaga is within the reach of every human being. Therefore, what Bhagavan says is, a life of Tyaga guarantees you freedom from frustration and also clarity of the truth. Tyaga is more practical. A life of Tyaga is more practical. But supposing you become a sannyasi, then you renounce all activities and live quietly just to spend all your time for knowing the truth, but that you may not be able to do that. And at another place also Bhagavan said, Sannyasas tu mahababo dukkhamaptuma yogataha. If you are not mentally prepared for sannyasa, you will not be able to sustain it. As a sannyasi also you can be frustrated. Frustration can come from many reasons. Not only because you are not married, but because you want to do certain things. But the resolve that you have made prohibits it, forbids it. Then you want to go and have something nice, to go to a restaurant and eat something. You are a South Indian, you want to go and have some idli. But the resolve that you have taken forbids it. Forbids it. Therefore, don't take a resolve that forbids the normal course of life. Don't make a resolve that forbids you the normal course of life. Are you able to follow what I am saying? Don't make a resolve on the first of it, on the first of the new year, don't make a resolve. From today onwards, I will renounce all vegetables. That's not practical. That's not practical. At best, you can make only one resolve. I will renounce Karela. Because previously also you were not taking Karela. Don't make impossible resolves. And sannyasa is a resolve. It is even if it is it is a wonderful thing, but you should see your own capacity. But Bhagavan is helping us something very beautiful thing. Tyaga is within the reach of everyone. What is Tyaga? He says, Sarva karma phala tyagam. Now in the second line Bhagavan defines what is Tyaga. Tyaga is do every action but for your inner growth. Sarva karma phala tyagam. Renounce you can perform actions, duties, and just by dint of doing your actions, they will bring you some material results which are enough for your survival. But in your attitude, you should always think, I am doing all my duties for my inner growth. I am doing them all as a prayer to God. I am doing them all as my worship to God. This attitude, entertain the right attitude, that contributes to one's inner growth. What about the material results? Hey, don't worry, just because you are doing, the physical actions will bring some results. Whether you want them or not, actions done will bring results. You see, when you clap, like this, whether you want the sound or not, the sound will come. Then why want the sound? Sound will come. Therefore, let the inner want be. Let the inner want be. Let the inner want be for the self-growth. Like in doing bhajan, everybody is doing like that. bhajan. What is the desire? To create sound or to pray to God? It is done like this as a prayer to God, not for making noise, not for making sound. But the sound also is made. But in order to make the sound, you don't have to have a special desire. So whether you like it or not, it will create a sound. Similarly, your actions, whether you like them, whether you like or not, they are going to produce some material results. Whether you like or not, your duties will produce results. But the inner intention should be, hey Bhagavan, this is my prayer, help me grow. Help me, guide me towards understanding the truth. Make this a sentence, please. Utter this sentence. I think we have done a lot in life. God, guide me to understand the truth about myself. Complete, don't stop with the truth. God, guide me to understand the truth about myself, the truth about my being, the truth about the essence of me. Therefore, you can do all actions with the intention for inner self-growth and self-purity, self-purification, self-growth and self-clarity, and material results will also come. I don't have to crave for them. In any case, they will come. Have I conveyed this point? Now, this approach, is it within everybody's reach or not? It is within the reach of everybody, because you get your material results and you also keep growing. You are performing actions and you get your material results, you are also growing. Sarva karma phala tyagam prahuhu khate hain. Tyagam as tyaga, vichakshanaha, the wise. The wise describe doing duties as a prayer to God as a tyaga. Bahut badi baat hai. Doing actions as a prayer to God is tyaga. You don't renounce actions, but perform actions and with a different approach. Perform actions not merely for material results, perform actions as a prayer to God to be guided towards understanding the truth. And Swamiji, what about material results? वो अपने आप आएंगे. When you go to business will bring some results. Every action brings its material results. But what helps me within is my attitude. Action doesn't help me. Action only brings me material result. But the attitude helps me grow. The attitude helps me grow. Action doesn't help me grow. Action only brings me result. But with which attitude I do my action helps me grow, helps me become matured, helps me become peaceful. If I do it as a prayer to Bhagavan, and prayer, what kind of prayer? God, guide me to understanding the truth. Ask the most fundamental thing. It's not enough to say, Bhagavan, help me to have nice health. वो सब ठीक है जी, but help me, God help me. Please guide me towards understanding the truth about me, and all other things get connected to it. I'll tell you a story, just another 5 minutes. Like you have Birbal stories, we have Tenali Rama's stories. In the south, there is a person called Tenali Raman. a very nice cat. As children we used to read, one of the stories is, he worshipped Devi, and Devi came. And Devi asked, what do you want in life? He said, I want, but you are supposed to ask only one desire. You can't ask many things, you can only ask only one thing. Devi put a condition. You can't say number one this, you can't give me a list of things, but ask for one thing. Tenali Raman, very, very intelligent, clever. Do you know what did he ask? I want to see my great grandchildren eating payasam on a golden plate. Look at that. He has asked everything, ji. Only one. In the same manner, you ask Bhagavan, guide me towards the truth, and that includes all-round well-being. All-round well-being is included in being guided to the truth. Did you follow this point? Therefore, doing actions with a different attitude, with the right attitude is dhyaga. And giving up all actions and sit in a quiet place and be committed to understanding the truth, that is sannyasa. But that is available for some, not for all. Whereas dhyaga, within the reach of everybody. Have you followed these few words? Will help you. Will help you. Reflect on these. Then we will continue this later on. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnavadaya Purnameva Vadishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Hariyam ji.
Sunday, Wednesday.
Just take it.
I will pick you up at 5 o'clock, Swamiji.
Yes, but we are not going to the doctor.